da Okudzeituo we bi fe ke man bi fe ni bawa ye neke omo woyili ke inagbe ke ngora ke ngene gbe sho ni jigbe wulu ne ni womba wobaye captain niji Asafoiatse nupa of the Gun State ni tete Okudzeituo womba wobaye le egbino niji sho e omowo shini wota fiama ke wota shie bi ekeke wota shie bi ake Okudzeituo we ni abala ke bi ane ni bi ahin e chake ye woji ahin ni ahagboy le ye ni anukwale kan ni ahashia bi potete po bibi po amele ye ni anukwale kan no ngene ngreto agbino ne heko ni ganta weteshi ni ekwa mama papa nebu ni woyawo hin ni kedani gamba teshiye besake ye na anukwale kan ajenshi kejejeme manfe ma nocheye ni manfe ma ayemeni ji mahin yelo no ngene kenye ba na wo wonye wolo ni wonto wo kane kecho media no ke amambi ni Ghana mambi fe ke gadangbe manfe abotue ni amebo emi ni bi tue ni amena boni gan ajeshishi ke ye na jenshiye ke meni jenshi ke moni twata ke meni no dani gajo tomoboni menega ejo ni wonake atomaji acheme ewowe ni komenyo ke te ke ejo ni be ke ni biye me ko be tu keje yin na me sa na ehin na sa nwene won pa afen ko wen ayemoko ye gan leji kataman so berima leji akwamu stro Asante stro leji okunji asasi e leji okunji oman e le no ji kun okun ji etuo oje Okudzeituo okun ji etuo eno ne yi otun no ne ke gbomo ne je gbomo foloni ni esani egbe agboyega yue momi shimene ayuo ne so ekopo e ale ake shi awuluko neke yega no mene be ese ni wo ba sumo ko ni yo wulu no ke no ni yo wojiami ye judgment ni money nta o na mele na menu ambanya mekpashi na mekwe na mena ke gan ka yue captain niji Asafoiatse nupa of the Gun State eleji ni tete Okudzeituo be wulu na je niji letterhead ni nye Asafoiatse Okudzeituo we head Asafoiatse Gaparamount 2 ni office of the Gamanche HRM Kintakite Kuchuru the second fiami ake letterhead ni wonye ke ha wo history ye ni wo ba kan ye ni yo no ne bona Africa mukune na lojuba be wonya wo hin ake Asafoiatse Okudzeituo we the captain stroke Asafoiatse nupa of the Gun State gakankan loy ketabiloy adebo shian Abola tafo tamlinfo wonjin shishi. Now it reads Amafio Amakuma into bracket the grandee of the Gun State the first king of Accra of the coast of whom we hear again was Ni Ayikumati Ekuba. The influential chief was Amafio Amakuma, who is the progenitor of the family. The Akwamu king Otunfo Okonopenyi, who reigned from 1702 to 1725, had become so envious of the prosperity of the Akrans and was seeking an opportunity to fight them. In 15th August 1722, Amafio into bracket Kuma and his warriors avenged an attack on the Danish governor David N during Ga-Omowo celebration in Kinka Abola, Dutch, Accra. 1723, Accra was invaded by the Akwamu, led by Nana Penny Akono and his men. In 1725, Ni Amafio marched with his tabiloi and attacked the Danish lodge at Keta. Asafoiatse Okudzeituo the first reigned from 1719 to 1776. The recognized warrior families who participated in the Akwamu War of 1730 to 1733 under Ayikumati Ekuban in Abola for the Gan State are Asafoiatse Okudzeituo, the number one. Asafoiatse Okumose and Asafoiatse Ashrifi Esilfi into bracket Katawia. These were the liberators who saved Game from the Akwamus. The Gakotoku Tribu War 1770 as Tabiloache, chief warrior, under Gamanche, ni Tete Ahene Akwa, into bracket Ayai, his uncle. He died in 1776. Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II also reigned from 1777 to 1828. The late Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II, Oji Oman, was born in 1765, being a royal from the Ayitungba dynasty. He was brought up together with his cousin, Nitekochu Gamanche, into bracket, at the Gamparaman Stew, Tungbawe, Abola. Tribal wars and instruments. Shortly after Nitekochu, his cousin was installed in 1777. He realized the need for highly trusted and loyal warrior to serve as his confidant to protect the stew. Himself, Gamanche into bracket, and the great people of the Gan State against the attacks and insurgents. He being fully aware of his cousin's exploits and skills in combat operations, Gamanche Nitekochu the first consulted with the Gan Lomoyoloi, Gamashi Asafobi, without any hesitation, selected and installed as Paramount to Asafoiatse and head of the Gan State. Asafoiatse men to defend the borders of the various Gan communities. In the same year, with the stew name Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II. As the Gan Paramount to Asafoiatse Nupa, his main role was to protect the stew and the Gamanche in times of war and public gathering. Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II lived during the reigns of several Gamanche men and fought in more than 6 wars. By headmen or chieftain into bracket mean a member of the Akwashon or the assembly of the principal headmen of the Gakotes of the town. See page 118 by C.C. Randolph. The Accra formed a government. Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II lived during the reigns of several Gamanche men and fought in more than 6 wars. By headmen or chieftain into bracket mean a member of the Akwashon, quote unquote, or the assembly of the principal headmen of the quarters of the town. See page 118 by C.C. Randolph. The Accra form of government may be said to consist of 3 divisions. The king or chief and his grandees have to make their own laws for the town people and have the political power in their hands. The military power is particularly vested in the principal headmen of the cortes in a town known as Akwashon, but they cannot undertake to make war unless the chief with his grandees sanctions it. The last power is vested in the company's Asafu, into brackets, who also transfer any difficult case to the assembly of the principal headmen, or Akwashon, quote unquote. They even have to submit such difficult cases to the chief and his grandees. If a war case, it is reported to the king in Usher Town and submitted to his decision, and then it becomes a general concern of all the Accras or Accra. Through the king of Usher Town, is headman of all the petty chiefs. Yet in times of war, every individual man has to provide himself with arms, ammunition, and co. to carry on the war, for there are no public funds for their purpose. The Akwashon, having the military power, lay in store for self-defense a good quantity of powder and lead against sudden emergencies. We continue. The king and all the chiefs and influential men also lay in store some quantity of powder and lead for personal defense. The second encounter, he was as Asafoiatse in the Gan-Anglo War, 1784, into brackets, under Okudzeituo the first. He had his third encounter in Hota, Saturday War, also known as Kolebuta, between Ewutus, and then in 1807, 4 years later, under the same reign, he fought in Sota, Thursday War, in 1812, between the Gamen and the Equipims and Dani Amungi the first. During 1819, Gaomo celebration, a clash between Gakinkan and Leshi Alata, Usher Town, and Jamestown, into brackets, developed into a full-scale war referred to as Omowo Huta, into brackets. This during the reign of Ni Kuja Okain, referred to Asafoiatse, Ni Kuja Okain, Asafoiatse Tete Okudzeituo II was renowned captain and influential man of the Ga state, led the Ga warriors to the Osamankuta in 1824, Battle of Insamanku, into brackets, or Insamanko, into brackets, during the reign of Ni Adama Akuraja. Initially, this was a battle between the Fantis and the Ashantis. The fighting, which was along the coast, posed a great threat to the British commercial and business activities, and as a result, the British were drawn into the fighting. The British appealed to the Ga state for help, which readily offered, and this resulted in repelling the Ashantis' advancement, which had almost secured entire Gadangwe state. Captain Tete Okudzeituo II, last and final encounter in active fighting, was the most important of all battle of the Gadangwe, which is the Katamanso War, under Nitaki Kombi the first. Even though age was catching the captain, he ensured a total victory was achieved against the war mongering of the No War, which happened a long time. The coastal areas was fought in the forest areas of Dodowa. Of all the battles fought by Ashantis since the formation of their kingdom. Katamanso War had proved to be the most fatal. According to history, as be quoted to us by our ancestors, after the victorious Katamanso War, Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II, as usual, did not return with the Ga army, and information circulated that he, together with 4 other renowned warriors, fell during the war. Refer to the history of the Gold Coast and Ashanti, page 210, paragraph 3, by Dr. C.E. Randolph. But prevailing facts and events on the grounds proves the victory cries sounded and heard across the battlefields, signaling the end of the war on Monday, 7th August 1826. Many of the Gandangwe warriors, anxious to reach home, immediately starts demobilizing and left the battlegrounds. Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II and his steward warriors, Adodeme or Adodemabi, stayed to make sure that the Ashantis at the Gandangwe territories completely before demoralizing and returning. Since Asafoiatse Okudzeituo II had always led the Ga warriors to Ga Mashi, but not this time, it was assumed that Asafoiatse had been killed. However, Wednesday, 23rd August 1826, 4 days after the 1826 Ga annual Omo celebration, the Asafoiatse several seized, realized, stacked on him, emerged Gamashi. His warriors removed the rifles and used the bats to form a palanquin to carry him on shoulder, high amidst singing victorious war songs and dancing throughout the principal corners of Gamashi. The uproars and jubilations that greeted him gripped the entire Gamashi community, and celebrations that followed lasted days and became the topic of the town for several weeks, since the mere presence of him was enough to give the tabloid and the people much sense of safety and assured protection. When he finally reached his home the Wednesday, a special meal was prepared for him due to his absence during the main Omowo celebration. The Okudzeituo family till today continues to celebrate his return on the Wednesday after the Omowo by preparing a special meal, pokpoi and palm nut soup, and add it white in remembrance of him annually. Thank you very much. God bless you.